卓越背後係由 Chase 獨家贊助播出。
有人話成功係1成嘅幸運加上9成嘅汗水，但係佢就話成功係汗水加上基因，而佢好幸運遺傳到良好嘅基因，俾佢有精力喺服務社會超過半個世紀以後，仍然冇諗住停落嚟。今集我哋同呢位嘉賓一齊走過他的卓越背後。
My name is Judge Owen Lee Kwong. I'm a judge of the Los Angeles Superior Court. I've been a judge for 26 years. I was originally appointed by Governor George Deukmejian to the Municipal Court in 1989. In 1993, Governor Pete Wilson elevated me to the Superior Court.
1930年代喺中國南海一帶有唔少年輕人孤身隻影漂洋嚟到美國，希望可以為自己編織一個美國夢。可惜呢群已經坐船多個月嘅新移民，卻因為當時實施嘅排華法案而被拘留位於三藩市灣區嘅天使島。鄺瑞超法官嘅爸爸就係船上其中一名年輕人。呢一段華人辛酸史成就咗我哋今集嘅主角。
My father came over by himself for a single when he was around 16 years of age, as the Japanese were invading the Guangdong province. He came over by boat, and he was quarantined in Angel Island in San Francisco for apparently a fair amount of time. He was a peasant farmer. He went back and married my mother and brought her over.
鄺瑞超喺加州嘅沙加緬度出生同成長，童年嗰陣家境清寒，但係佢嘅志氣唔輸人，佢對他人嘅眼光亦唔感到絲毫難堪。從佢嘅言談入面，唔難察覺佢擁有一把渾厚嘅聲線。呢個得天獨厚嘅恩賜，令佢喺少年嗰陣被學校選中加入合唱團。
We had an assembly for the other students and parents, and I was told to wear a white shirt for that event. I came home and told my mother I needed a white shirt, and my mother checked with my dad, and she came back and told me that we couldn't afford to buy a white shirt for you. So I ended up wearing a white T-shirt. The white T-shirt didn't bother me so much, but what did bother me was there were some parents that kept on staring at me, and I could never figure out why. I don't think it was because of the white T-shirt. You know, as a matter of pride, I thought it was my voice.
鄺瑞超嘅大師本色一早就表露無遺，今日佢仍然活得逍遙，凡事處之泰然。或者勤奮堅定嘅性格真係需要自細培養嘅。喺嗰個年代成長嘅鄺瑞超唔似今日嘅小朋友咁被百般呵護，佢早喺11歲為咗養家糊口就當上萬能打工王，從清潔、打雜甚至劏牛都難唔到佢。
I started doing odds and ends around when I was 11 years old. I originally started working in the store sorting bottles. And then from there, I moved on to being a janitor, you know, sweeping up in the warehouse, a warehouse man, a produce person, a butcher. I was actually a butcher. I could actually break down a beef. Nowadays, the cuts that come to the butcher center is all already been cut up normally. But here, you had to actually break down a full cow and cut out the different types.
當然，年輕人難免有股牛勁。鄺瑞超亦曾經以為自己只有119磅，都能夠將一袋重100磅嘅薯仔抬起，就能夠中環四海。點知一次大病對佢當頭棒喝。
Unfortunately, you know, I got ill. You know, and at that time I realized that, my gosh, you know, here I am, you know, in the best of shape. And the best of health and everything, and then all of a sudden I get ill, and I find out that, oh my gosh, you know, I can't do hard labor later on, and so that's when I decided to go back to school.
鄺瑞超決定重返校園之際，全國大多數大學主科嘅申請日期都截咗止啦。剩翻嘅選擇入面，仲有猶他州大學嘅藥劑系。佢冇俾自己多一日嘅時間去考慮，漏夜就將申請表寄出去。果然有心唔怕遲，鄺瑞超順利坐上去大學嘅尾班車。一般學生需要至少6年去完成嘅藥劑師課程，鄺瑞超憑過人嘅天資同好學嘅精神，喺半工讀嘅情況下，只用咗5年就從藥劑系畢業。佢不但喺學業上面得心應手，喺事業上面，就算係處理大小複雜嘅藥方都無往而不利。從猶他州大學畢業之後，佢返去沙加緬度工作，喺短短1年間就已經晉升成為臨時總藥劑師。
Well, when I was a pharmacist at Kaiser, the average fill, I mean the average number of prescriptions that a pharmacist would fill in an 8-hour day, the minimum was 125 prescriptions a day. But on average, they filled about 160, 170. I used to be able to fill 400 plus. On a day, yes. I had incredible eye and hand dexterity. Plus, I had a very good memory in those days.
中國人有個傳統觀念，如果係3師之一，即係工程師、會計師或者藥劑師，必然衣食無憂。藥劑師呢個專業已經令人羨慕不已。但係鄺瑞超追求嘅唔只係一個金飯碗，而係透過學習先滿足到佢嘅精神食糧。
It wasn't because of ambition, and it wasn't because, I thought pharmacy was not good enough for me. In fact, I enjoyed pharmacy. As you will later learn, I worked as a pharmacist until about 3-4 years ago. I was always curious, and I always read a lot. I always went to the library, so to speak. And so I just decided to go to law school. It was something different to do. I was already pretty much the top of where I could have gone anyway in pharmacy.
鄺瑞超決定以藥劑師嘅身份攻讀加州大學洛杉磯分校嘅法學院。法律系嘅學生平時過嘅已經係非人嘅日子，但係鄺瑞超同時喺大學嘅醫院繼續做全職藥劑師嚟賺學費，既要兼顧讀書同工作，更加要打理日常生活。鄺瑞超每日只有唔夠6個小時嘅睡眠。
Usually law school finished around 3 o'clock, so I would walk across campus. It was about a 10-minute walk, and I would start work around 3:30, 4 o'clock, and work till the shift ended, which is 11:30 at night. I basically worked there. I worked on average at least probably 38 hours a week while I was going to law school. I used to work the night shift. I usually worked the weekend shift. And then whenever anybody called in ill, they had to find coverage. So usually they'd ask me if I want to work another shift, and I'd always say yes.
即使待人接物表現隨和鬆容，面對工作卻毫不鬆懈，亦無半句怨言。樂觀絕對係鄺瑞超成功嘅座右銘。
With regard to working, I never complained about working. Working gave me a chance to learn something. It gave me a chance to meet people. It gave me a chance to teach people. There's no reason to complain. And there's nothing really to complain about. I mean, it's all part of life.
喺今年4月，鄺瑞超已經卸下官服，轉投私營公司，繼續從事調解同仲裁工作。呢一日，我哋就受邀出席其中一個為佢舉辦嘅榮休酒會。聯邦法官伍浩平亦都出席，褒揚呢名亦師亦友嘅同事喺過去1/4個世紀喺法律界嘅汗馬功勞。成功人士嘅卓越背後都有一啲性格嘅優點。鄺瑞超平易近人，令唔少同佢共事嘅法官、律師都對佢一致讚好。尤其係佢談話嗰陣表現出嘅幽默，更加為人津津樂道。
One thing you have to recognize that whenever a person is retiring, that's the next step in the many steps to eventually allow you to reside in Rose Hill. So, unfortunately, this is a downhill slope of a life that's been great that has gone sky high.
He absolutely likes challenges, and the other thing is he has an incredible mind. you could give him a stack of documents of very complicated things, and he can read it and analyze it in a couple of hours and cut through the nonsense and the technicality. And also, he's very charming, and he has a good sense of humor, and he puts people at ease. And everything I learned, I didn't go to school. I actually learned working with Owen, and just watching the way he was doing it, and just, he has his own style, but just doing it the way he's doing it, I learned from the master.